Good morning. Welcome. I made myself some notes because now that I am older, I tend to forget everything. And I've been known to stand up here for several minutes before I ever introduce myself. So my first note is introduce yourself. So my name is Bill Seiler, and I'm the chairman of the School for Career Council here in Wake County. Uh, as I was planning and thinking about today, it dawned on me that we started this process back in 1995. And I was involved in it in 1995. And here we are 28 years later. And I'm still involved, which is kind of amazing. Good Lord's treated me well, so I'm thankful for that. But more importantly, to see the growth and to see the business involvement and to see the collaboration between the schools and the businesses grow has been very rewarding. And so, would like to thank everyone that's here and attending, and all those that aren't here that participate with the school system and the school system with the businesses, because as Bill McNeil, when we started this journey back in 1995, said that the schools are not going to be successful without the business engagement, and he was correct. And so we've seen a lot of growth and a lot of good support from our business community. So thank you for that. I think we've got some slides. How's that work, Wes? You had more time for me to talk, didn't you? Okay. Sorry about that. So, first thing I like to talk about is what this organization called School to Career looks like. And I'm going to recognize some people in just a minute, but I wanted to get this up first so that you kind of see that when we started in 1995, it was just the Business Alliance. But since then, we've got now 34 high schools in Wake County, and every high school has a business alliance, and every high school has a CDC, which is a career development coordinator. And one of the things that myself, who grew up in the nuclear industry, I thought we had the patent on acronyms, but the education system has us beat. So I've got to make sure I explain what these acronyms are because I finally have gotten used to a few of them. Not all of them, but a few of them. So, and then we've got the career academies, and right now we have 25 of those, and that's a cohort group that's focused on a particular subject matter. Like at Wake Forest High School, we have a construction academy and design academy. At Apex High School, we have an IT academy. And at Middle Creek, and they're all here this morning being represented, they've got a digital media academy. So if you go from high school to high school, we've got 25 of those. And then we've got what we call the CATS, or the Career Academy Advisory Teams, which are made up of uh, academic and professional people looking at a particular subject matter, such as the health area or the ag area or something like that. And the focus there is to make sure that as a school system, we're meeting the needs of the business community. Are we teaching what they need? So this really has grown over the last 28 years, and really is something to talk about, because we've had a lot of people that have come to Wake County to talk to us about this whole thing called School to Career. So uh, thank you all for whatever one of those blocks you find yourself in. And maybe many of you are in multiple blocks, but we appreciate that. Uh, we'd like to thank our sponsor. We have Wake County Economic Development, which is the economic development arm of the Raleigh Chamber of Commerce, and Ashley Cagle, who sits on the School to Career Council with us, is a big advocate of what we're doing. And I think most economic development people recognize that your best economic development tool is education. And so Ashley's a very big proponent, so we appreciate them being together with us. We have the School to Career Council, and there's all the names of those individuals. If they would be stand to be recognized, that would be awesome. I know Kyle's over here. We just recently recruited Ryan Ray, and his name wasn't on that slide. So Ryan, we apologize, but we had to get things going before we got you. So we appreciate you joining us, though. Also, do we have any Board of Education members present? If they would stand and be recognized. Do we have any elected officials, mayors or state senators or legislators? Thank you. I looked around the room and didn't see any, but that doesn't mean that they might be incognito. Do we have any military of people that are in here today joining us? I always want to recognize our military and the support they provide. I think this is the first time I haven't seen someone. So, uh, and then the I always like to do this, and people have asked me why, but will all our business professionals please stand and be recognized? And now will all our educators rise and be recognized? Now, the reason I do this is because it takes both of you to make this thing work. And so I always like to see the percentage of each. So it looks pretty even. So that is great. And we appreciate all of you all collaborating and making the school system and serving our students better. And then I'd also like to recognize Gail McDougall, who really did a lot of work to put this together. She has worked tirelessly to plan, and Gail does not leave any stone unturned, as I've learned. So thank you, Gail. Appreciate that. So, as many of you know, we have a new superintendent, and we're excited about that. And, change is always good. At least that's what I was always told after 50 years in the business world. We need to accept change. But I'm excited about this new superintendent, Dr. Robert Taylor. He served briefly as the state superintendent in his home state of Mississippi. He spent 2 years with the Department of Public Instructions as a deputy state superintendent, overseeing federal programs in North Carolina virtual public schools, school operations, school nutrition, and more importantly, he probably got more than his taste of politics because he had to work with the Board of Education and the state superintendent who had to work with the legislature. So I'm sure there was a lot of interesting conversations and things that went on trying to formulate what we're going to do in the state. He served almost a decade as Bladen County superintendent, and in 2017 was named the Sand Hills Regional Superintendent of the Year. In 2017, he was awarded the Friday Medal for his work in educational innovation, and he received the Friends of Nutrition Award from the North Carolina Child Nutrition Association in 2018. And I find that very interesting because it's taken educators a lot of years to realize that we get students that don't eat sometimes. And as a result of that, they don't learn. And I guess I got that exposure about 15 years ago working over in Durham. And so it was kind of an enlightening moment for me, one of those aha moments. Before his tour of duty in Bladen County, he was the assistant superintendent for administration at Clinton City Schools. And I talked to him earlier when he came in, and I told him now I know why he's on the administrative side because he started out as a middle school teacher. And I said, I taught Sunday school and worked with middle school students. And I said, and I had 4 children, and I can remember middle school was always a tough time for us. So uh, he was also an assistant principal and principal in the Cumberland County Schools. So he's been through a few counties here in North Carolina. He served as an advisor to school education at UNC Pembroke and Fayetteville State University. and he's a graduate of the University of Southern Mississippi, and he got his advanced degrees at Fayetteville State University. So very familiar with the state of North Carolina. So it gives me a great pleasure to introduce the 11th Superintendent of Wake County Public Schools, Dr. Robert Taylor.
Good morning to you all. I got to tell you that the $20 and $30 that I've given people across the state to say good things about me, apparently that's paying off. So I appreciate that. So good morning to everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to be with you this morning for your continued support of our career and technical education and school career programs. The last few years have created challenges and opportunities for education. We are teaching and learning in new ways, and we have moved from a period of response to a new phase of planning for the future. Yet we must pause to honor and celebrate our volunteers. We know that our students are the ultimate winners because of your work with principals, administrators, CDCs, Career Academy CDCs, and Career Advisory Team lead teachers. We appreciate your commitment to staying the course in support of our students and our CTE programs. Also, a special thanks to all our Business Alliance members, Career Academy Advisory Board members, Career Advisory Team members, and business partners who support our middle and high school students. I would also like to thank the Wake County Economic Development as a sponsor again this year for this morning's breakfast. Finally, I want to recognize the talent of our school system as demonstrated by the technical support and artistic contributions of Middle Creek High School Digital Media Career Academy for recording our session today. So I know they're going to make me look good. Thank you to these amazing students and faculty. Our community understands and believes that graduates today require skills beyond what can be measured by test scores. Rather, their success will be determined by how they apply the academic and technical skills learned during their time here at Wake County Public Schools. Many careers will require additional credentials beyond the high school diploma for them to be ready for high wage, high skill, high demand opportunities. As stated in our new strategic plan, we believe there are many pathways to excellence and equity for our students. That's when your phone rings, you don't turn it off on silent. The future of our economy and our community will be shaped by these new pathways and the many emerging industries stemming from them. We see more students choosing CTE pathways that lead to concentrations. A focus area of study gives students an avenue to pursue their passion, a sense of belonging, and connection to staff. The value you provide to our students and larger community through your partnerships is immeasurable. We do not take your investment of your time and resources lightly. We do not. We will continue to need more and different opportunities for students if we want them to have a work based learning experience before they graduate, opportunities that only you and your colleagues can provide. I was talking with Leslie Brickhouse this morning. She and I talked together many years ago in the middle school. And one of the things that we recognize is that we put a tremendous focus on career and college readiness, with the focus really being on college readiness. What we believed is that if a student graduates college ready, and they decide to go into a career field, they're going to be fine. But what we determined and understood is that we didn't take the opportunity to give students usable and workable skills that they could take into the workforce. And so what we found is that community colleges ended up being the graduate schools. Students would get a 4 year university degree and they'd have to go back to a community college to get technical skills. So we've learned from that. And we understand now that we can create these opportunities for students in school and give them a chance to connect with you as volunteers. And I think the greatest part of this work is the mentorships that you provide. Students have the opportunity to connect with business people and not only learn about an industry, but learn what it means to be a responsible adult. And so I'll end with the last thing. Um, what I find most refreshing about our CTE programs and the support that you provide is that it supports girl power because absolutely. Because now when I visit CTE programs, I see females that are engaging in careers that have traditionally been reserved for males. And I think that is wonderful. I have two daughters. I obviously have a mom. And so girl power is very important for me. So thank you all for being here, for providing this support. We could not do this work without you. So thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. We appreciate that. Uh, One of the things that we all need to realize is that as a new superintendent, Dr. Taylor's got many tasks on his table. And as I explained to him when we put this together last year, we had a superintendent that we didn't know was going to retire. And so Dr. Taylor's got some other commitments, but we were great. He was gracious enough to come by and talk to us. So we certainly appreciate that. So this year we have the more involvement of the Middle Creek Digital Media Academy. Uh, we've got Wes Petty and Lewis, and I know I'm going to mess up Lewis's last name, Malinando. Am I close, Lewis? Okay. But they have done a marvelous job recording this over the years. But we we were trying to look at maybe doing this a little different this year. And so what we're going to do is we're going to still have our two student speakers, and you can see the agenda in front of you, but we're going to intersperse the program with awards. And the way we've broken this up is Wake County has 9 regional areas. And so each region will be announced, and then the nominees for the award will be announced. And it's all going to be done via digital. You're not going to have to listen to me anymore. We've done this digitally with the Middle Creek Digital Media Academy, and then the winner will be announced. And so as you look through your agenda, you'll see that we'll be doing awards. Then we'll be doing a speaker. We have our two student speakers. We have Wanda speaking. We have Joanne speaking. We're going to speak you to death. So don't worry about that. So with that, we'll start the awards.
The first region to be recognized today is the Central Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Emily Giglio, Camille Grant Valentine, Lisa Talley, and Karthik Tyagi. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Central Region goes to Camille Grant Valentine. Please come forward to receive your award. Our next region to be recognized is the Eastern Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Shannon Baxter, Dr. D. Nice Hunter Bojalin, Wayne Dupree, Quentin Miles, Dean Mislinski, Roger Peterson, Chinre Ulasi, Carissa Way, and Glenn York. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Eastern Region goes to Dean Mislinski. Please come forward to receive your award. Our next region to be recognized is the Northeast region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Stacy Bradfield, Vanessa Davis, Michelle Douglas, Elizabeth Hayes, and Berhany Robinson. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Northeast region goes to Elizabeth Hayes. Please come forward to receive your award.
Good morning. I am Wanda Denning, and I co-chair the School to Career Council. And I want to give you some numbers this morning. I always get stuck with telling the numbers.
But a good number.
They are good, great numbers. We currently have 25 career academies. Our newest academies for this school year are at Middle Creek High School and Millbrook High School. Career academies, as Bill mentioned earlier, are smaller learning communities within a school that focus on a career theme and integrate their CTE studies with the core curriculum. Academy students participate in a number of work-based learning activities such as job shadowing, career fairs, career-themed industry tours, also known as OLEs, we got to have an acronym, and an internship. All Career Academy students have to complete a 120-hour internship by their senior year. The teaching of soft skills is integrated throughout the curriculum in an academy. Each Career Academy has a career advisory board made up of business volunteers and higher ed representatives that are specific to the themed academy. They work with the Career Academy coordinator, the students, and the academy teachers to support the academy. Work-based learning, CTA supports a continuum of work-based learning activities beginning in middle school that includes awareness, exploration, and preparation. One of the best ways you can support these programs is to engage in work-based learning opportunities. There are different ways to participate and still fit into your schedule. We have a growing number of students who are being offered employment based on work-based learning experiences. In the spring, 10 students were offered employment following their involvement in the shed event. That's where contractors worked alongside the students to build sheds. A growing number of our interns are finding full-time employment with companies who are working with students to provide tools, additional training, and even transportation. Our students have been in operating rooms, on production floors, job work sites, in business offices, in kitchens, you name it, we send students there. We're proud of the opportunities our students have to participate in various work-based learning experiences. As the numbers show, we've had students that participated in apprenticeships, job shadow experiences, internships, and course-specific work-based learning experiences during the 22-23 school year. In addition, 10,546 additional volunteers participated in work-based learning events that impacted almost 183,000 students during the school year of 22-23. Our first student this morning is Anna Fing. There you are. Anna is a 2020 graduate of Enloe High School, where her journey in CTE began with in a health science classroom. Her experience in the classroom led her to find HOSA. In turn, HOSA altered, disrupted, and enriched her understanding of herself. Her journey to become a confident and outstanding leader was sparked by her desire to extend her CTE learning outside the classroom and eventually applied on the world stage. Almost 7 years later, not only is she still involved with HOSA at the collegiate level, but she is currently serving as the international president of HOSA. Yeah. Along with leading the largest healthcare organization for CTE students, she is currently a senior at UNC Chapel Hill and expects to graduate with a Bachelor of Science in May of 24 with a degree in nutrition science and research. Please welcome to the stage Anna as she reflects on her journey through CTE.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Basically, gave my talk for me. Good morning, and thank you all for the opportunity to be here to reflect on some of my amazing experiences I've had in Wake County Public Schools. My name is Anna, and I'm a senior at UNC Chapel Hill, studying at the Gilling School of Global Public Health in Science Nutrition, and I'm a proud Enloe High School alum. For Enloe High School. So when Miss Ledford asked me to talk about my time in CT today, I went looking through my old Google Drive because honestly, it had been a while. And I guess I didn't really understand what a folder was when I was 15, so it took a long time. But I did find a lot of my old group projects from Health Science 1, which was the first CT class I ever took at Enloe Magnet High School. And one of the projects I'm about to share was a music video, but I won't sing it. Sorry to disappoint, but I promise no one wants to hear that. But I will read some of our lyrics. Wake up in the morning in anatomical position. Got my keys proximal to my hand, and I'm on a mission. Lateral, frontal, medial in the middle, thoracic, fantastic. Directional terms are magic. Tick tock on the clock, but the terms don't stop. Thank you. So if you just picture that to the tune of TikTok by Kesha with some really bad iMovie transitions, that was our sophomore year project. So I had a lot of fun looking back on these old projects, even though they were a little bit embarrassing. But with the hindsight of a college senior sadly about to graduate, I can now reflect back on how the concepts kept returning again and again in my university education. And it was striking to find them in my anatomy lab manual or in a job interview for medical scribing just last week when they asked me to define anatomical position. Now, this familiarity, recognition, lasting academic foundation was built by CTE and began in that health science classroom at Enloe High School. And I'm so grateful it has carried me here. Right next to that classroom, in the 600 hallway of Enloe, is also where I was introduced to one of the most meaningful experiences I ever had in my high school career, but also to this day. HOSA Future Health Professionals, a career and technical student organization with over 260,000 members and 54 charter associations across the globe, an organization I am now proud to represent as its international president. But 6 years ago, if you told me that I'd be standing in front of you all saying that, I would have laughed and probably bet good money against it. Because 6 years ago, sitting in our first HOSA interest meeting, I didn't even know HOSA had a president, just that all my friends had left me for a week to go to a cool conference and had lots of fun, and I wanted to come too. 6 years ago, I'd also never raised my hand to even answer a question in class. So public speaking or public anything was so far out of the question. I was worried and petrified that someone would think I was annoying, or that my voice was weird, or that my question was stupid. And so I kept my hand down. I sat in the back of the room at our first HOSA meeting, and I only spoke to 3 friends that I'd known since I was 12. I went through all of high school's growing pains, painfully afraid of what people thought of me, afraid of how I thought about myself, and most afraid that that was never going to change, that the only voice that I'd ever hear was the one that always told me that I wasn't good enough. I did go to that conference with all my friends that year, and by some luck, I won third place in my competitive event, medical reading. I got this little bronze plastic medal, and I actually hung it in front of my desk for the rest of high school. At the conference awards, Enloe High School does this amazing thing where we cheer for all of our students, the entire school. And it sounds like such a small thing, a small plastic medal and a 5-second cheer, probably less. But home wasn't the warmest place at the time. And I remember the warmth from those cheers, the shine of the stage lights, and the joy of feeling proud of myself. And I held on to that warmth, that feeling of being proud of myself. And it quieted my doubts and my fears just enough that I'd have the courage to run for a state leadership position the next year. There's a lot of things that could have stopped me from pursuing a career in healthcare, but the most insidious was always that voice that told me that I would never succeed, that I didn't belong at those tables, that I was too quiet, too anxious, too awkward. So why would anyone ever want to hear my voice? What place did it have on the ivory steps next to perfect, polished perfection? According to ACTE, another acronym, the Association for CTE, CTSOs develop self confidence when students are asked to speak in front of businesses, the organization, and in competitions. Students learn new skills and talents, which in turn increases self confidence in their ability. Every time I spoke in a HOSA space as a HOSA leader, whether it be to pitch an idea to my team or ask a question to a very impressive health industry professional, I practiced using my voice. I learned how to use my voice, and along the way, learned that maybe it deserved to be heard too. Just maybe, because after all, I've also learned that small, insidious voice of self doubt never leaves. And I was still nervous, even though I've done this a couple times, that I would never have anything worthwhile to say, not even today. But because of these opportunities gifted to me by my amazing role models at Enloe High School, 2 of them who are here with me today, Miss Ledford and Kartik, the Wake County Public School System CTE program, every teacher, administrator, volunteer, business program who believes in the students they serve and works tirelessly to support them, I've been able to grow around it, to still hear a small insidious voice creep in and say that I shouldn't be speaking up here and stand here anyway. Did I potentially consider coming down with the flu? Maybe at some points, but that's the anxiety that will never leave. But I'm grateful that it was magically cured, because now I have the opportunity to thank you all today for the incredible work that you do. Undoubtedly, this CTE program in Wake County Public Schools has made me the person that I am, and I'm endlessly grateful for it. Thank you all for your time.
And now we return to our School to Career Volunteer Awards. Again, we ask that nominees stand to be recognized as their name is called. Then we will announce the winner for the region and ask that he or she come to the stage to receive their award. Our next region to be recognized is the Northern Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Kenneth Cates, Mike Davis, Lisa Green, and Michelle Lair. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Northern Region goes to Lisa Green. Please come forward to receive your award. The next region to be recognized is the Northwest Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Rob Bowser, Andrea Connor, Henrietta Corsi, Justin Diana, Amanda Gale, Josh Hilton, and Ken Turner. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Northwest Region goes to Andrea Connor. Please come forward to receive your award. Our next region to be recognized is the Southeast Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Angela Graham, Ramona Harrell, Tammy Hicks, Don Johnson, Lee Marlowe, Pam Townsend, and Carissa Way. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Southeast Region goes to Angela Graham. Please come forward to receive your award.
Was Anna not fabulous? Now we have another fabulous speaker, Claire Melton. Claire is the daughter of Jeremy and Jennifer Melton of Rollsville. She is a current 8th grader at Zebulon GT Magnet Middle and has been in career and technical student organization entitled Family, Career, Community Leaders of America, FCCLA. For the past 2 years, she has attended district and state leadership conferences and scored high enough there to attend a national FCCLA leadership conference in both San Diego and Denver. She is a member of Zebulon Middle School National Junior Honor Society and is a student ambassador where she promotes Zebulon Middle to future prospective students. Outside of school, she's an active member of Girl Scouts and enjoys baking and hanging out with her family and friends. Please welcome Claire.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Claire Melton, and I'm an 8th grader at Zebulon and Gifted and Talented Magnet Middle School. I'm honored to be able to speak with you this morning about Zebulon Middle's career technical education classes and student organizations. Over the past 2 years, I've felt that I've been lucky to have these classes and experiences that have given me chances to learn different skills that will be useful in the future as I get college and career ready. Zebulon Middle offers extracurricular career and technical educations like FCCLA, HOSA, and Student Technology Associations. These clubs help ZMS students for college, military, and careers. Within these clubs, students are able to explore their interests while learning through through real life experiences. For the past 3 years, I've been able to be a part of Zebulon Middle's Family Career Community Leaders of America student organization, also known as FCCLA. I have qualified for the FCCLA National Leadership Conference for the past 2 years. As a member of FCCLA, I've learned how to register and follow guidelines and rules for competitions. My recipe for zucchini bread won third place at the North Carolina State Fair. Also through FCCLA, I've learned how to prepare and serve refreshments to local business members at community functions like the Eastwick Business Alliance. Through these community events, I have also had the opportunity to represent our school while mingling with the mayor, town commissioner, and local business owners. One of the main components of FCCLA is the STAR projects. STAR projects are competitive events in which members are recognized for leadership and career preparations. I've created projects on various topics like how to prepare for extreme weather events and promoting FCCLA. In doing these STAR projects, I've learned how to research, create, and present presentations to judges. Last year, my STAR project was on promoting and publicizing FCCLA. It won first place gold at our state leadership conference in Greensboro, so I was qualified to present it at the national conference in Denver, Colorado. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I would be able to present at the National FCCLA Conference and qualified for both Denver and San Diego as a middle school student. This year, I'm hoping to take my project all the way to the National Leadership Conference in Seattle. Some of my favorite parts of FCCLA is getting to meet other members all over the United States and looking at all their STAR projects that students have submitted and seeing sights and sounds of new cities. While the clubs have helped me figure out my interests, I've also learned a lot through the career technical classes at CMS. In my childcare class, we are taught how to take care of babies and children, and we are learned how to feed babies, change their diapers, and safely entertain kids. My favorite part of the class is getting to take home the baby and see what it was like to take care of it for the night. At the end of the class, we are learned how to be interviewed and build a resume. We also earned our American Red Cross babysitter certification. Another CTE class I took, Office Productivity, we learned how to write professional letters, create presentations, and we learned about different jobs and career pathways. This year, I'm excited because we have a new CTE teachers and elective options. I'm currently enrolled in our new class at our school, Exploring Technology. In this class, we are learning about different careers and how technology is used. We've done different projects like build cereal dispensers and find out how different candy is made. Also new this year are classes about tool safety, exploring automotive services, and some new agriculture classes like the fundamentals of agriculture science, where students learn exactly what agriculture is and what careers are available to students. Our Zebulon Middle Career Development Coordinator, Ms. Creech, provides students opportunities by taking them to early colleges and magnet high schools where students can see different career pathway classes and options available to them. Each year, Ms. Creech hosts a truck fair where students can explore different kinds of trucks that are used in careers like firefighting, EMS, and electricians. She also takes students to tour big corporations like Biogen and smaller local businesses like the Germano architecture firm in Zebulon. I have not only been able to visit some local Zebulon businesses, but also host them in our school for events like the Eastwick Business Alliance and the Zebulon Chamber of Commerce after hours events. As I move forward into high school, my next goal is to start an FCCLA chapter at my base high school and to continue to explore my interests through CTE classes offered there. I am confident that I will continue to build on the skills that I learned at Zebulon. I will continue to build on the skills I learned at Zebulon Middle. Thank you, business owners, for letting us come to tour your facilities and sharing your business practice with us. Thank you to my family and my teachers for being supportive and so encouraging. And thank you again for letting me share my experiences. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Once again, we return to our School to Career Volunteer Awards. Stand if you hear your name, and if you are the winner, please come to the stage to receive your award. Our next region to be recognized is the Southern Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Jody Carey, Jason Evans, Ben Furs, Leslie Mull, Aaron Nelson, and Chris Wiltsey. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Southern Region goes to Chris Wiltsey. Please come forward to receive your award. Our next region to be recognized is the Southwest Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are Lori Allred, Amber Barnes, Eric Glickstein, Michael Sandy, and Craig Statham. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Southwest Region goes to Craig Statham. Please come forward to receive your award. Our next region to be recognized is the Western Region. Please stand as your name is called. The nominees are TJ Cowley, Dr. Barbara Porter Spalding, Dr. Sid Rao, and Michael Taylor. Thank you for your service to our students and schools. And the award for the Western Region goes to Michael Taylor. Please come forward to receive your award. Now, welcome to the stage Joanne Honeycutt, Career and Technical Education Director for Wake County Public School System.
Good morning. Sometimes you wonder when you work with schools or in your job, you wonder, is what I do making a difference? Does it matter if I show up? Does it matter if I give an hour or two here or there? I hope you have seen and heard in the talks from Anna and Claire this morning that it does make a difference. While they are two examples of outstanding students in our school system, there are literally tens of thousands that are in class this morning that benefit from what you do. And this morning, in my time with you, and I promise to be relatively brief, I want to share with you some data that really supports that difference, that really shows you how what you're doing matters in the lives of our students. So this graphic is busy. I'll start by that disclaimer. And it does show some data from the school year 2021 to 22 because our data lags a little bit from DPI. So we'll have 22, 23 data probably in December. But I want to start by talking about the 99% that you see there in the upper left corner of the graphic. That is the graduation rate for students who earn a concentration in career and technical education. So that 99% we've held for several years. And that just shows the benefit of that focused area of study that Dr. Taylor mentioned when he spoke to you. When you compare that 99% to the state graduation rate for the same period that was 86%, or the district graduation that was 89.6%, you see that that sense of belonging, that focused area of study really makes a difference to students. The CTE teachers that you interact with when you volunteer and come to our schools, those students get up every day and go to school because of a connection and a sense of belonging with that teacher or with that student organization that you've heard about this morning. So we know and we appreciate and we value that focused area of study. The graphic also shows that students who are CTE concentrators are career and college ready in that academic proficiency. That's those numbers there, kind of in the middle of the graphic. There's been a long time myth that students who take CTE pathway or CTE courses won't be successful in college, that they're not going to cut it there. And what I want to tell you this morning is that we have the data that shows CTE concentrators do as well, or in some cases, better than the Wake County Public School students as a whole in these academic measures. That's in large part because our CTE educators are able to show and demonstrate to students how to apply the academic skills they're learning in their core classes in career context, right? That gives them a way to anchor those skills and a way to practice them. And then the last piece of data that I will highlight from this graphic is the placement rate. We survey our CTE concentrators 6 months after graduation. And what we know from that follow up survey is that 99% of our CTE concentrators have positive placement after high school. That means they are either pursuing further education, employment, and if you add up the numbers, you say this is more than 100 because they can be positively placed in more than one category, in further education and training, employment, apprenticeships, or on-the-job training, or military. 99% of our students have positive placement. 89% are going on to further education, and nearly 2/3 of those going into further education are going to universities. So we feel like we're able to combine the academic and the technical skills for students that help them be successful, whichever pathway they choose. This graphic, again, is lagging a year, shows that students in 21-22 earned 16,489 industry recognized credentials. If you're on a career advisory team, we've probably asked you, maybe ad nauseum, which industry credentials does your business or sector recognize or value? We are super excited to share an unofficial, this is the disclaimer, it's an unofficial number, but for school year 22-23, our students earned 28,185 credentials. This chart shows the trend of credentials earned since the state began collecting the data. We're one of the few states in the nation that even tries to capture this data. We are so very proud of our students and our staff who are helping students develop these skills and giving them a way to demonstrate what they are. Now, this 28,185 represents a wide variety of credentials that validate the skills that students are able to do. They go from the Adobe skills that our Middle Creek folks are using and implementing to support us today to EMT certifications, safety certifications, construction certifications. Whatever you as career advisory folks have told us that you want evidence to validate what students know and are able to do, we have tried to add as to part of our coursework. So we're super excited about what that means for students. Some of our students have said that industry recognized credential is the reason they got a job. Some students have said it's the reason they got a pay raise. We have some examples of health science students in particular who have used their CPR skills to save people that they love or care about, or even complete strangers. So it really does make a difference in the lives of our students and in their families. And finally, as I leave you this morning, I want to echo my appreciation that you've heard from several folks already today about how much we appreciate and value your engagement with our schools. Our teachers do a fantastic job. Our hats are off and so much appreciation to what they do with students every day. But your voice and your guidance really matters. We can tell students 100 times what is needed or required. And I'm not saying they're disrespectful or don't listen. What I'm saying is when you say the same thing, it carries a greater weight. Because you are not in that school system. You are not the teacher. If you're a parent, you may have experienced that same thing with your own children, right? If somebody else tells them, all of a sudden it's really the truth. So your partnership really does matter. And there are lots of ways that you can be involved with us in the school system. If you're a large company, there are opportunities. If you're a small company, there are opportunities. We run the gamut, as the slide that Wanda shared with you showed, from career awareness all the way to career preparation. There is a place for everyone in supporting and working with our students. You are here today because of your excellence in volunteering and your commitment to our schools. What I would encourage and challenge you today as you leave is to think about other colleagues that you work with that might also benefit or be willing to work with us. And if you can't think of colleagues, think of competitors. We'll take them too. We want to be recognized as a great source for talent in our economy. That is the goal of career and technical education, is to help start and prepare a pipeline for your workplace and your employees. And we need your help and partnership and appreciate all that you do. Thank you again for your time over the school years and for your time this morning. And we look forward to many, many more opportunities to work together. Thank you.
In addition to the regional winners, we would also like to recognize a middle school nominee and a career advisory team nominee for their many volunteer experiences. The award for Middle School Business Alliance goes to Aaron Nelson. Please come forward to receive your award. Finally, the award for Career Advisory Team goes to Carissa Way. Please come forward to receive your award.
So we come to a close, and me being a construction professional, this is great because we're way ahead of schedule. And so when you're way ahead of schedule, that means you're under budget. So I'm sure we're doing great here this morning. So thank you all. Uh, thank you all for your passion and dedication to the education of our students. You all, as Joanne pointed out, make a big impact, and we greatly appreciate that. Having our business community involved with the schools is really very, very important. But we can do more. Uh, One of the things that I tell business professionals as we talk about the world and where it's going, we know that we're getting fewer and fewer people to be employees. And so, one of the things that I encourage business professionals in the Triangle is to get engaged with the school system because you've got 160,000 future employees out there. And the best way to be in a position to recruit those future employees is to get to know them and get to work with them. And so the way we used to do business, I can remember finishing college, as my kids said, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. And you went to job interviews and job career fairs and things of that nature. And, there was an abundance of students. And oftentimes, even though I'm an engineer, I can remember there were times when engineers couldn't find jobs. And now we're begging for kids to go into engineering and architecture and construction and any science curriculum. And I really appreciate what Dr. Taylor said about the women. And I tell people, I was raised with four sisters, and I was the only boy. And so I probably got a better dose of the female insight than most young men did. And one of the things that I tell people is that I know women drive us men crazy because they talk so much, but the thing that really makes a difference is, yeah, they do talk more than we do, but we kind of grunt and groan and think that everyone understands what we said. And then we can't understand why something didn't get accomplished. Whereas women, when they get through, even though they may have talked about 80,000 other things, everyone knows where they're going and what's going on. So I think women have really made, especially I tell people this in the construction industry, have made us a much better industry because we communicate so much better as a result of having women in the workplace. So it's always exciting to see the Annas and the Claires and the young women. Uh, I'm a chairman of an organization called ACE Mentoring, and we've been doing this in Raleigh for 18 years. And ACE stands for Architect, Construction, and Engineering. And we work with high school kids to get them involved in those fields. And what I've seen in those 15 years that I've been involved is more women. And I think that's exciting and something that is going to make a difference. If you look at your table right around the centerpiece, there's a QR code. And so, we want to make sure that we're with the latest technology as well as everything else. And so, if you will scan that, that will lead you to a survey about today's event. And we are looking for feedback from you on what you saw that worked well, what we could do better. As you saw, we did this a little differently than we have in the past for those of you that have been coming to these things for the last several years. And so we want to keep it relevant, and we want to make sure that the candidates that are doing the work are getting nominated and recognized. So if you would scan that and give us that feedback, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for your engagement. We thank you for being here this morning. And until next year, we wish you all luck and happiness and joy, and keep working with the students. Thank you.